Hi Lumineers, welcome to the Lighter Side Show. I'm your host, Jamie Butler, the Everyday Medium. And today we're going to talk about mindful meditations with Jennefer O'Brien. She's in house and she's here and I love her. Before we get into that, I do have some housekeeping notes. I hope to see you guys in June in Kamloops at Akashic Ranch with Marian Harangozo. Myself, Colleen is coming.
Yay.
I normally make Colleen promise that she will hug everybody, but that is debate. And Jesse, you can decide if you want to edit that out later, because I'm sure Colleen will make you edit it out, but I've said it. So head over to akashicranch.com for ticket sales. And Lumineers, save the dates in October because 2019 Luma Summit is happening here in Atlanta, Georgia at the Center for Love and Light. Head over to jamiebutlermedium.com and click on events to get the full details. We're going to have new presentations, new modalities, and pop-up shops and more. So you definitely want to be there with us. And just to give a shout out about this, we do keep our events small. We do it for a reason. So it's more intimate so that you can build a relationship with the presenters and the material at hand. That's kind of our specialty over here. We call it like a boutique summit. Can't wait to see you. There's so much more happening. If you'd like to know what is going on, well, sign up for our newsletter. We send it out once a month. It has a nice little article, and it also tells you where we are and what we're up to. Okay, with no further delay, let's get into mindful meditations with Jennefer O'Brien. Did you like that?
Hello, I love that.
Jennefer O'Brien, like I just sent the energy to you like this.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning.
So happy to be here.
I'm very happy you're here.
Thank you for having me.
We purposely did not really discuss what we were going to talk about today. I said, do you want to do this? And you said,
yes.
And here you are.
Yes.
So I met Jennefer at our yoga teacher training with Lee Malice at Pranic Soul.
Yay.
And it was like an instant love at first sight. Do you when you see people and I'm like, I'm going to be your friend. And we had a moment where we pair up in yoga school, we're calling it yoga school, and teach a class together. And I was secretly hoping that they would let us pick because we have a similar vibe. And I thought it'd be really great to work with somebody who kind of has a similar vibe and you can create a class. But we drew from a hat and you drew.
Yes, I completely did not understand the process. I had no idea what was going on. And then when I said, because there were two names on the piece of paper, and then when she said, that means Jamie is your partner, I was so happy I couldn't speak.
The universe is at work. Yes, I was so happy.
Definitely.
So I have not met you before, and I heard all about you before I even met you. Because there was this big buzz that there was a Atlanta chapter of mindful meditations, and this chick Jennefer was running it. I was like, well, that's great. And then it took me several weeks to put two and two together that it was you. And I only put two and two together when you were like, after class one day, you were like, hey, can we chat? And I was like, oh my God, that's her. Yes, it took me a little while. And I was very interested in hearing, how did you get into that? And what is keeping you in the mindful meditation world?
Well, it is a very interesting story. It just started a little bit over a year ago.
That's it?
Yes. And I'll tell you how it all rolled out, and I'll try to make that quick. I am a yoga teacher, and I'm in a group called Yoga Teachers Atlanta on Facebook. And over a year ago, I saw a post in this Yoga Teachers Atlanta page, and it said, it was talking about this woman named Carrie. This does lead up to how it all started, because it wouldn't have started without this. So there was a woman named Carrie coming over to the States from India, and she's in India helping women who have been in disempowering situations, helping to bring fresh water to them, helping to bring employment to them, teaching them how to make malas in order to resell them, and then bringing them to the States on this tour that she does. She does a yoga glow flow where everything glows in the dark. And she's actually a yoga DJ. So she played, which, you know what? It'd be really cool to have something at the Center for Love and Light.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah. Woo-woo. Not woo-woo. It's true. So she was looking for someone to help her in different cities bring her tour where she would be the DJ, and then there would be a yoga teacher that would teach the flow, and the yoga studio that hosted her stop in their city would get part of the profits, and then the rest would go back to the women in India. So I just have this thing for India. I mean, I have a thing for all people, but I feel like I must have been Indian in another life because I'm love the culture. I love everything about India. I've been to India. And so I kept watching and waiting to see which studio was going to pick it up because I didn't run a studio. So I kept watching. A few weeks went by and no one responded. So I finally reached out to her and said, hey, I will make this happen, because I just thought, okay, people will just want to help with this. And so I'm going to make it happen.
Yes.
So I asked the owner of the studio where I was teaching at that time if she would host it. And then my idea was to pull people together from all around Atlanta, from all the different studios, because I was at that time new to Atlanta myself and was going around and trying out all the different studios. So I thought, how cool would that be to bring everyone together and do this amazing thing? Well, it wasn't that easy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yoga politics?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. And it was very interesting. It was a very interesting experience because, well, for a lot of reasons, but I'm from the Northeast. I did my yoga teacher training in New York City, and it was around to all the different yoga schools. And so I just was raised under the yoga vibe that's what we do in yoga, but it was very competitive here. And all of the different teachers that I approached were a little bit, not a little bit, they were nervous about bringing the students, coming together, because they were from different studios and it was competitive and the different owners. And I was very sad about that, but it happened. It did happen. It was like pulling teeth, and it did happen, and it was amazing, and it was a beautiful event. So I had to figure out Instagram because I had to spread the word, and I had to figure out how to make posts and do all that stuff. And so it was just like so much happening at once. And so I saw, this all leads up to Mindful Mornings Atlanta. While I was pulling this together, I saw a post made by Becky Crump, who is the original founder of Mindful Mornings Global, Atlanta's under the umbrella. And I don't remember exactly what it said, but it was something about bringing people together and community and love, and it just moved me. And so I saw that Carrie also liked the post. This sounds so corny, but it's the real truth. And she said, oh, well, that's actually my best friend, and she's starting this thing called Mindful Mornings.
No.
Yes, it hadn't really started yet. And she said she's looking for different chapter founders around the USA, and I think you'd be a great match. So got in touch with Becky. Just so happened that the other city that she was getting in meeting to get this movement going was in Asheville, which is an easy drive from Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So I drove to Asheville, met Becky, met the Asheville founder, and I said, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it. And so, because I believe passionately in bringing people together, I love meeting different people. I like finding out about what's going on and new things and good things and things with a cause that give back. And so that's what happened.
Do you think your background in yoga got you interested in the meditation, or vice versa? Or is it what comes first, chicken or the egg?
Yes, because the whole purpose of yoga, I didn't know this when I first started yoga, but the practice of yoga, the physical practice of yoga, is to distract your mind, to get your mind quiet so that you can sit and meditate. And there is no doubt of what yoga does for me, and I know for many, as far as being able to get grounded and tap in, and how important that is.
So, do you use any kind of yoga during mindful meditations? Or describe for us, the Lumineers, what mindful meditation is.
The mindful mornings, in mindful mornings.
Mindful mornings meditation.
Yes. Well, we come together the first Friday of every month, and at first we mingle. It's just a time where there's chai and kombucha and coffee and kind bars, all donated by the people that come. So that's really nice because it's about community over competition and people getting to know each other. And to not just come to an event and then leave. It's to really, truly meet and connect and see what they can do together.
I've never heard it put together, community over competition.
Yes, that's the whole
resonates huge
purpose of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that there's mingling, and then there's actually even a food truck comes, and she has all Ayurvedic food, and it's amazing. Actually, the whole thing is amazing because I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but it just was meant to be because everyone I ever asked to host the meeting just said yes, donated their free space. I didn't know any of the people that I approached asking them if they wanted to be the coffee person, the chai person, the kombucha person. And they all just said yes. And then Kind Bars sent me an email and said, hey, we see what you're doing and we really like it. We want to give you Kind snacks for every meeting. And so there's really a need, especially in today's world of constant disconnection, even though social media the purpose is to connect. It's so disconnected because it's not real. And people really want to meet a real live person that they can meet,
talk, communicate.
And also, I think we all know that social media is really just the highlight reel of people's lives, or even projecting how they want to feel. Because so many times you talk to people, at least in my experience now, especially with Mindful Mornings, I'll say, okay, that person's or I used to think, okay, everything's okay, like they're doing great. But then when you actually meet in person, no, they're not so great. And it's just... So that's why everyone looks forward to coming together every month, is because it's real people.
And I just, listening to you, I was thinking of hearing other parents, caregivers talk about their children being on their devices too much or playing video games too much. We have to really cut that back. The whole social media it's a similar feed to us as it is the video gaming to the kids.
Yeah, they don't just run out to the playground anymore.
Oh my God, you're making a playground for us.
Yes. So we have all the yummy snacks, just like you get at the playground. And then to get everybody really loose and out of their, shed all the stuff away, I have everybody dance. So
you do?
Yeah.
Wait, is this happening in the morning?
Yeah, at 8 in the morning.
Okay.
Which is hard for me to get there on time. And people actually get there. And it's on a work day. And I'm telling you, it's just like, what? It's just people want it. And the few months that I haven't had it due to various reasons, people are like, hey, why aren't we having it? Yeah. So we have people dance, and sometimes I lead the meditation. Sometimes I also invite other guest teachers to come in and lead the meditation. There's always a theme every month. Becky comes up with a theme at the beginning of the year, and there's a theme.
Oh, so globally everybody is teaching the same thing?
Yes.
And is it globally First Friday?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So that's real solid mass consciousness all focused on the same thing.
Yes.
So that's big too.
Yes.
Even though there's time differences, I hear you, Lumineers, I understand. But even the groups and the time zones, that's enough to create this kind of conscious mass energy ball.
Yes.
That is so neat.
Like the sound of Om.
Yeah.
Yes. We have the meditation, and then there's always a guest speaker. And the guest speaker is never revealed ahead of time on purpose. So people have no preconceived notions and they just come. I'm like, hey, what's it going to be this month?
So they're really showing up for themselves. It's not because they've intellectually decided,
Right.
oh, that's something that I need to hear, or I have enough of that. I don't need to hear it.
Yes.
That's brilliant.
It is. Becky is a pretty cool lady.
And it's nice getting a surprise.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to get surprises these days. And the more sensitive we become, Lumineers, it's even more difficult to get a surprise because we sense it coming and we know it's going to happen. And if we tap in, we can often figure out what it is.
Yes.
So this is nice, having it just shut down, no release, no mention.
Right. Yes.
So I have a question.
What is it?
Does it cost anything? Like, do you
No.
sign up? Do you have to be like a membership?
Nothing. No.
Free.
Free.
And so you have found, wow, you have found spaces, food, support, lecturers, everything, and it's all volunteer.
Yes.
So it's an exchange of energy, not an exchange of finances.
Right.
Which energy is finances, but just being clear that it's showing up in a different way. And do you find that that's working?
Yes.
People like it? They understand it?
Yes.
God, there's sometimes, we've run through our nonprofit events that were free, and we would market it and put our heart into it and talk about it, and everybody, oh, it's just amazing. Finally, this is happening. One person would show up.
Really?
Or none.
Wow.
It's like not until we said you have to pay $5 to reserve your seat,
that
they would do it, and they would show up. And I was like, what is it? You guys talk about wanting this available, healing, alignment, this mindfulness, the meditations, the healings. And then when it's offered, you don't show up. It's crazy.
That is
so
funny.
You're giving me a ton of hope, knowing that you're offering this and people are catching on and wanting to be a bigger part of it.
It's just creating a real community.
I have a question. Have you seen the documentary Gift?
No.
No? Colleen and I went and saw it, and it's based on the gift economy concept, where no finances, no money, but it is the giving and receiving, not based on a trade. So it's not, trade is the value of something based against the value of something else, which is a financial kind of basis understanding. This is worth $5 and you have $5 worth of that, then we trade. This is just truly giving without the concept of receiving. The act of the giving is the act of receiving.
Yes. So
what
much.
you're doing reminds me of this. Alive and well in Atlanta.
Yes.
What other cities are doing the mindful mornings?
Let's see. Charleston, Richmond, Asheville. I don't know all of them off the top of my head. Fredericksburg. Oh, there's so many.
Where do we go to
Charlotte,
find a list?
mindfulmornings.org.
.org. That's the website.
Yes, and it has grown across.
Substantially.
Yes.
And so you have an Instagram account.
Yes.
So Lumineers, if you're hanging out in Atlanta and you want to see what Jennefer is up to with Mindful Mornings, you can head over to Instagram, which is mindful_mornings_Atlanta.
Yes.
And you post where it's going to be and the time frame?
I do post where it's going to be. Yes, it's always the first Friday of every month. The mingling begins at 8, then about 8:30-ish. The dancing and meditation happens, and then that rolls into the guest speaker, and then there's always interaction of questions. There's announcements. If anyone has an announcement of anything they're doing that is giving back, that is the time when they stand up, and then so much collaboration happens. So many people have, it's lots of things have happened. So, I mean, I'm still, it's just amazing. I love that I'm a part of it.
I love that you're a part of it too.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, thank you for doing this so that we do have a space to come to that's like that. You know, for the rest of us who are running centers and holding events, that requires a lot of financial support and work because it's brick and mortar. And
Right.
here you are able to kind of flux, not need a brick and mortar, but just rely that it's showing up. It's just going to show up and be there. And you hold that space. That must take a lot of intention and time energetically to do that.
It does.
So thank you.
Well, it's my pleasure. It was a gift to me, really. I've met so many interesting people and learned so many things, and it's just the energy with everyone coming together. It's just wonderful. There are no chairs. I never have chairs. We just sit on blankets. Like at first people are like, what? There's no chair? Like, formal? No, you don't even have to wear shoes. But people do.
Yay.
They get very dressed up because a lot of times they have to get off to work. I don't know how they do it. Come there and then go to work, but they do.
So what does mindful mean to you?
What does mindful mean to me? Thinking, intention, the power of the pause, to really stop and be present, and that's what it means.
I would imagine that you'd get asked like every month.
No.
Like, hello, boys and girls. Mindful is, you know, and like...
No, the meditation. No, I don't preach about mindfulness. I feel like that's becoming like a trendy word.
Right.
No, it always goes with the theme. So the meditation, the mindfulness comes into the theme, so I don't do the same meditation every time. It's always around to get people to really think about, you know, it's not just the thing that's underlined, but really getting under the thing that's underlined. And what does that really mean? And how can you really take, for example, April happens to be ANA. I don't know why. I don't know if Becky did that on purpose, but it's altruism. So what is altruism, for example? And then really get in there and let people know how they can activate whatever that theme is into their lives and who's doing what in Atlanta.
So by doing that and highlighting all the supporting elements, that's like the click of the mindfulness.
Yes.
Bringing it to that level of awareness rather than...
And just reminding people to slow down and look around and really get to know the person next to you and kind of get back to being in real life and being real.
All right, so then...
And taking all the layers off.
Who can show up for this? Is it based for the person who already understands what mindful is? Maybe read an article on it and that's why they can show up to Mindful Mornings?
I'm very particular about who is the speaker.
Who the speaker is.
Yes.
What about the attendees?
Oh, anybody can show up.
So
that's open to anyone.
8-year-old?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
101?
Absolutely.
Somebody who's just fresh off the farm?
Absolutely.
Or sad to be like a city business goer?
Yes.
Mom?
Anyone. Yes. Men, women, all of you.
Anyone.
Everyone that even is everything. Everyone. So if whoever you relate to, identify with, circling.
If you're alive.
If you're alive, you can come. You can even bring your dog. I will not turn you away.
You heard that straight from Jennefer's mouth. Oh, Lumineers, I want to thank you so much for being here and just listening to us banter and maybe grasp some new concepts. So if you have heard this and you go, oh my God, that's so interesting. I mention it almost in every episode. Go click on the link. Go do the research. Please put your fingers to the keyboard. This is how we grow. This is when we follow our aha moments, our little sparks. That's when we start aligning our life with what we're attracted to. But it starts with you. I mean, you're here and I love that and you're listening to it, but the work that goes beyond this, it's in your lap, Lumineers. So I'm encouraging you to keep going. And if you're in Atlanta or globally, apparently,
yes,
find your Mindful Mornings
city chapter.
And
if there's not a
.org.
chapter in your city and you would like to be a founder, get in touch.
Get in touch with Becky.
Or me or who, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or anyone. And there.
Anyone in any Mindful Mornings, and we're all collectively helping each other.
Thank you for helping us all connect community over competition.
Yes. Thank you.
That is huge.
Thank you.
I want a t-shirt that says
that.
Jesse, can you make t-shirts for us?
Of course.
Community over competition.
I will. Absolutely. I like that too.
He's on it.
And I've had many people say that they didn't believe that could really be community over competition. And it took them a couple of meetings to get it, that it was really true. That's been an interesting revelation.
So this is like, for many people, the first taste that they have when it's done well, balanced and successful.
Well, I mean, that's a very nice thing to say.
Yeah, because you know what's coming next is you're doing that. You do that. I'm touching you because you're so
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here and just
thank you.
Chatting with us. I love it.
Thank you. I love it back.
Thank you, Lumineers, for lending us your eyes and your ears, and I hope to see you next time. Remember, it's not woo-woo, it's true. Bye, Lumies.